So yeah, there it is. So we'll see how these things grow. And another project we got going on right now, I am getting the dirt or the hole ready for the ice cream bean tree. You can see you got right here. Yesterday I kind of pruned all the leaves off of it because they were kind of damaged from this last winter. It was a pretty cold winter abnormally here in San Diego County, and there was a little bit of frost damage on the leaves. So cut them all off. You can see you got a lot of new growth coming into the tips right here. Kind of pruned it a little to hopefully get a canopy going. So yeah, right now I'm just taking these daffodils and other wild plants out of the hole and getting it ready. So that's pretty much the next project. Check back with you later. Alright, so as you can see, we've gotten most of the daffodils and other wildflowers that grow in this hole. We're getting it ready for the ice cream bean tree. So now it's time to use the trusty pickaxe and jack this stuff up here. And I've got a pile over here of some soil that I'm working on getting amended, mixing with compost and some gypsum and whatnot. So we're going to fill the hole with that good soil there. It's got a lot of clay, rich, nice red clay. Add some iron and whatnot to the soil and loosen this up, maybe dig a bigger hole and get it filled up with some of the kind soil. So yeah, check back in a second. That's hard work, but we got a hole dug for the ice cream bean tree. That clear dirt was pretty hard when I got down to the bottom there. But yeah, we're ready to go. I'm going to go grab my soil and put the plan and start filling. Off for a little bit, but I'm going to add a little bit of food and various amendments to the soil now before we fill up the rest of the hole. So, yeah. Actually, I think I'll throw the axe down on this real quick. I just wanted to loosen up some of that clay. This stuff's pretty dense down there. Nutrient rich, but it's like concrete, I tell you. Alright, so this is my dirt pile. To the left kind of here I've got a mix of just some natural soils that I've dug up from around here from various plantings. I've poured some gypsum on top, some compost that we got locally here. So yeah, just gonna kind of grab some of that and fill that hole. Alright, so now before I come and dump that soil, I'm gonna throw some more gypsum down just on that area that I broke up here on the outer perimeter, just to help hopefully get the gypsum to penetrate into that clay soil and loosen it up. Alright, now I'm going to throw just spread that one wheelbarrow full of soil around on top of that, and then I'm going to go get some compost after that and kind of do layer things. So let me go grab that. Alright, so yeah, it's getting pretty late and dark, but I just kind of wanted to throw down some compost, show you how my personal style of making soil is. I just like the lasagna method, more or less, you know, layers and layers of natural soil, amendment, and compost. A lot of times I'll just come back after I make the lasagna and come back with a pickaxe and just jack everything up and mix it all up. Time to add another layer to the lasagna. Alright, so here we are the next day, 10th of April. You can see we've got another thinner layer of the compost in our lasagna sandwich here. So I'm going to throw a little more of the natural soil or native soil on top, just a thin layer, and then finish it off with the compost, and we should be done. Got our last wheelbarrow full of the compost for the Inga feuilleei, which is also known as the Pacay or the ice cream bean tree. This is native to Central and South America. It is a legume tree, similar almost to, say, like carob or tamarind. It's kind of a sweeter bean, and they are quite large. I personally have yet to taste them, but I am looking forward to trying them out. The inside of the bean, which surrounds the seeds inside, is the edible part. It's kind of a white, almost cotton candy-like substance that apparently is sweeter and kind of creamy in texture, similar to that of ice cream. I've heard it almost has some vanilla flavors to it as well. The seeds are about yay big, about this thick. Bury some of the roots where you can see actually little nodes that were about BB size, and those are the nitrogen parts that the roots produce and are really beneficial to your soil and any surrounding plants that you have. Yeah, so anyway, excited to see this tree go. Apparently it is a quick grower and it can grow up to 60 feet, so we'll see how it does throughout the years. Anyway, that's it. That's the Inga feuilleei, which is also known as the Pacay or ice cream bean tree. So yeah. Alright, so it looks like I need a little more compost. I'm going to go grab that. Alright, now although it may seem as though I'm done, unfortunately I did forget something that I like to do, and that is to bury or install a deep watering tube. This is 3-inch pipe PVC. Or is it 2-inch? 2.5. excuse me, it's 2-inch pipe diameter. And yeah, so usually I'll bury it, I'm going to bury it probably 2.5 feet, right next to the edge of the root ball. And I also like to incorporate a little bit of kind of like a rock pool at the bottom for any water to kind of accumulate up. So yeah, unfortunately I am going to have to do a little more digging, but it's not a big deal because the soil is super loose and I'd rather do it right than do it wrong. So anyway, I'm going to do that. Alright, you can see dug a pretty good hole. Now I'm right along the edge of the root ball. Let me get a piece of root right here. Let's see, yeah, this is all the root ball. And what I did is kind of dug underneath the root ball and to the left and to the right. And what I want to do is just put some rock material down in there a little bit, kind of a small bed, just to let any water pool up in a reservoir right there. And then I'm going to bury my pipe on top of the rock. And I didn't go quite as deep as I thought I was going to, so I'm going to get my measuring tape and see how deep I want to cut that piece of pipe, and cut that and get some rocks, and I'll show you what's up after that. Alright, so I'm ready to get this pipe in the hole here. You can see I got my rock material. This is all just about, I think they call it aggregate, but 1-inch aggregate, maybe 3/4 inch size rock. So that's just what I like to use in there. So I'm going to go ahead and dump those on in. Alright. Now I did forget my measuring tape, but I'm just going to kind of eyeball it here. Stick the pipe in where I want to. Got my hacksaw here too. Go ahead and finish kind of mark. Alright. Now it's pretty crude, so it's obviously going to be the end that I bury. So I got this nice clean edge right here. That's the height out of there. Now, I took this piece off of a Persian mulberry where I did the same thing. So you got your 2-inch pipe here. What I did is just got a kind of a adapter piece that's threaded on one end, and you can on there. You could use glue if you wanted, but if you just force it in there, that thing's gonna stick. That's stuck right now. So now you got a cap instead of having to use like some string or whatever. And this threading is really loose, so you can just kind of bring it down about halfway, and there you go. Keep stuff out when you want water. Take it off, and you're good to go. So you can see this kind of a green. It was the first time I did that, and so I only had a certain amount of spray paint. I thought maybe I could paint it green to help kind of just camouflage it, because the white's kind of an eyesore. So that's what I'm going to do with this. After I put it in, instead of painting all this down there, I don't really want a painted surface with paint, and there's possible toxic stuff that could go in the soil, maybe up wrong. Yeah, so I got my primer, got my paint. So I'll do that after I put it in. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in the hole here. And then just fill it up. Now I actually, I want to maybe put a few more rocks in there. Let me show you what we're looking at. Yeah, so I kind of want to put a few more rocks in there, so I'm going to go get some more. Alright, so I went and got my rock material, and I think this should be enough. Go ahead and spread that around to the sides here. I'm liking that a lot better. Okay, put the pipe back in there. I'm going to take a couple inches off of it. It's a little too high, so yeah. Alright, cut a couple inches off here. I'm liking that, a little more lower profile. Okay, let's fill this bugger up. Alright, now we'll finish it off with a layer of compost that I took off and set aside. There we go. So now I'm going to go ahead and get something to protect the compost. Take some cardboard backing and go ahead and spray paint this bugger. Let that dry and we'll get a final watering on it and we will be done. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and spray paint the PVC. Got just a simple rag to protect around the compost. The PVC will protect the compost liner from the spray paint. I just kind of dug in the recycling bin, clamshell styrofoam. There's kind of something in the background to protect it from flying all over the place. Rubber glove. Spray paint really isn't very fun to get on your hands, and of course I grab a torn one. Awesome. So I'm going to go grab another one, but yeah, let me get that and paint this bugger. Alright, so I got my untorn glove. Pull away some of this compost here. I can make sure the paint is deeper than the eye area. Alright, so we'll let that dry for a few minutes and then come back with our top coat. Alright, so it appears as though the primer has dried sufficiently in order to apply our top coat. I chose a green, which is the same as a lot of the trim that's around the house here. Kind of ties in with the lawn a little bit. You know, just some good camouflage. Alright, that's a good first coat. This recommends shoots. Well, anyway, I'm going to come back in maybe 10 minutes and just do one more light coat. And I'll be right back. So that's pretty much it. The ice cream bean tree is ready to go. Got its new home, so I'm eager to see how it's going to grow. Alright, I'm going to check out until the next project.